Today's Saturday, May 21st, and it's a little after 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is the Bitcoin chart at the monthly time frame. And I'm reviewing this chart based on a position I'm currently holding involving Bitcoin. So what I did was I'm trying to identify, well, from my perspective, I identified a bullish pattern. Even though this is now pushing below 30,000, I did take a bullish position based on this review, and that review was based on the following. So at the monthly time frame, the prior high was back in November with about $69,000, and after reaching that high, price has fallen to as low as 23,000, which occurred earlier this week. So making it official, what I did was I added the regression channel, and my anchor point is the high, the monthly high from November to the monthly low, right? So I could place it anywhere on this axis or this plane. And this is the channel or the market structure for Bitcoin. So what I did was, now because this channel won't move until the next monthly candlestick is created, I'm going to substitute the regression channel with a regular channel, so this way I could just follow the overall market structure. So there. So the the purple bands are support and resistance. The orange band is just acting as both support and resistance. And let me just expand this out, so this way it goes out to the prior month, and this gives me a visual representation from a broader outlook. So after this channel's been drawn, what I did was I identified the next support resistance levels. So support resistance. And the first one that's most obvious is right down here around 10,500, where there were multiple touch points for resistance before going vertical, right? So that, from my perspective, is a valid support resistance level. Now the next three levels are the most relevant based on current price. And the first price I have here is 34,725. And we can see that as price was running up, this price level had resistance, gets above it, support, 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 right? So now where price is, it's below, it's closing, right? So this is a monthly candlestick, so there's still a few days remaining in the month of May. So right now, this is still an active session, but price is now below this support resistance level. Also, this blue line, it's just a 24 EMA. I'm using 24 because it's traded 24 hours a day. That's the only reason for it. So the next support resistance level I have is 28,865. And we could see that as price was coming up here, it had resistance, support, 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 support. But this wick came down and was held at support by the regression channel. Now the third level I identified is 23,000. So in the event that if price fails to hold at 29,000 or 28,800, then the next level of support would be 23,000, because again, that support level was a touch point here. Actually, let me move it up here. So here we have two support levels, the regression channel and just chop this in half. So now that these levels are here, what I did was I took a tally of whether this is a bullish or a bearish trend, or what's next to, or the next outlook for Bitcoin. So what I did was I just trying to keep score of all this. Right, so from the beginning, I'm using the Fibonacci ABC pattern, right? So we have a swing low back in March of 2020 to swing high of April 2021 to a swing low to this candlestick right here. So this wick is much lower than this wick and this wick. So I'm using this as an anchor point as well. So what I did was using the swing low to swing high, to swing low, to swing high. After the swing high, or the C leg, it's a bearish pattern. And on the low side, price has to be lower than the prior low, which it currently touched. So could this pattern be almost over? I would think about 50% of it would be over, right? Because now that this low is lower than this low. Could it go lower? Sure. Sure. But again, just based on what is available right now, this could be the low. I'm not saying it is, but again, price could consolidate, right? Just like what it did here, it consolidated, it touched support 3 times. Maybe it'll do so again over here, right? For the next 2 months. But at least if price holds up here, then this condition that this is a lower low, then okay, so then that would fit that description. So that would be a bearish, right? Because we don't know if it's going to go any lower. Ultimately, 23,000 must hold for this to be a completed pattern. And then after that, then it would run up, right? And start anew. So bear 1, bull 0. So now let's reset this setup. So we're now using that high as the pivot. We have a swing low to swing high. Right now here, if again everything hinges on whether or not 23,000 holds at or I'm sorry, 28,000 holds, right? So if it does hold over the next month or so, then this could be the bottom. This level of 28,000 could be the bottom. And then the next trend would be a bullish pattern, and that would be higher than the prior high. So on the next bull run, then price would have to exceed 70,000 or 69,500, whatever it is. Right, so from that perspective, then this would be a bullish pattern. What if this pattern is complete? So now the score is 1-1. All right, let's reset it. So now the swing high, the anchor point is that low. To swing high, to swing low, right? So again, provided that this could be the bottom, the next leg up would be greater than 70,000. Once this pattern is broken, and the tell would be price breaking outside or above the current regression channel, which would place the resistance on this outer purple band, right? So the earliest that looks like it could break out would be either July, September, at worst, it would be end of year, like end of November. But the trend would then be bullish once it breaks above this upper purple band, okay? So then that would be a second tick for a bull. Now let's reset it again. So from the swing high, we have, oops, we have a swing high to swing low to swing high to swing low. Right? So after swing low, the next trend would be a bullish pattern greater than 69,500. I'm just going to say 70,000. Right? So the next leg up, once it breaks this pattern, this purple band would be a run up greater than 70,000. So that would be a third argument for a bull. Okay, let's reset it. So from the swing high, we're now using the anchor point of this swing low to this swing high to this swing low. Again, everything hinges on whether or not either 28,000 holds or 23,000 holds over the next month and a half, 2 months or so. So then the next leg up would be, again, that break above 70,000. So then that's another argument or another tick for a bull. So let's, how come I can't grab it? Okay, let's reset. So now here is this swing high to swing low, right? So if that's the low, the next leg up would be a bullish pattern, but then would most likely get rejected here at resistance and then come back down to a lower low, right? So at this point, if this candlestick does hold, then the next leg up would be a small bullish trend towards the upside, followed by a pullback, right? So short-term outlook for Bitcoin then would still be bullish, right? So even though there's a lot of pain right now, the overall trend is bullish. The next leg up would be greater than 70,000 based on this assessment and from my perspective, right? So that's bullish. Now, if we look at the weekly time frame, so this weekly candlestick right here will be closing tomorrow evening. And if price does hold, price may consolidate or bounce off this current support level and then a potential retest of 34,725, right? And then it could continue ranging in between these two support resistance levels, but still maintain market structure on this upper range of the regression channel. And toggling down to a lower time frame, right? We can see that based on the daily candlestick, it's approaching a wedge pattern, right? So here we have a wedge. So here we have support and price is getting squeezed by the regression channel's support resistance level, that orange band running down the center of the regression channel. So if price continues to range and gets squeezed, then we might see that retest, or I think this has a higher probability of breaking towards the upside, retesting 34,000 over the next few days, maybe 2 weeks or so. So let's see what happens here, right? So we could say, I don't know, pick So we have a swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, right? Followed by a pullback, right? And then if we reset it, right? So now we have the swing high to swing low to swing high to swing low, right? Then based on this pattern, the next leg is a bullish move towards the upside, right? Again, this is at the daily time frame. So the next leg up would be a retest of 34,725. So this would be a bullish pattern as price heads into June 3rd. So there's a higher probability of price breaking towards the upside heading into June 3rd. I don't think it's going to drag all the way out to June 5th to the very apex of this wedge. I think price will start moving or breaking above it before that. I would say sometime before the end of this week. So because now all signs are pointing a bullish move, what I did was last week, I took a bullish position involving the ProShares Trust Bitcoin ETF, which is, as of Friday's close, ended at $18.19. So the price of this ETF is not correlated to Bitcoin itself. It's correlated to the Bitcoin futures contract. So the pricing here is 2 levels away from Bitcoin itself, right? Because this ETF is correlated to the futures, which is correlated to Bitcoin. Anyway, there's a whole different thing too. So anyway, heading into a bullish few days, I did take a position involving the June 10th expiration date, anticipating that this ETF will be at or above $19.50 on or before June 10th. And I purchased 2 contracts, and both contracts expire worthless in 20 days, 20 calendar days. Each contract was a little over $100, and going into Friday's close, because unlike Bitcoin, which is trading 24 hours, both the futures contract and this ETF, they stopped trading Friday afternoon. But the futures contract will start trading Sunday evening, but this ETF won't start trading until Monday morning when the stock market opens. So anyway, as of Friday's close, the contracts are down to $86 per contract. And overall, I'm down $43.20 since entering this trade. I got into this position on May 19th, Thursday morning, sometime after the market opened. So that's the gist of my bullish position and my long-term outlook for Bitcoin. Again, everything depends on whether or not 28,000 holds. If it doesn't hold, then 23,000 has got to hold. Otherwise, there's a lot of real estate over here, right? Before price comes back down to $10,500. So that is, if 23,000 fails, then that's a 13,300 move towards the downside, because there's really no support resistance. You have something here, so it might hold at 19,000. If 23,000 fails, then 19,000 would be the next support resistance level, maybe. Right, so it's over here. So that's it. As the trading days proceed, I'll most likely do another follow-up and see where the position is. So until the next Bitcoin review, more to follow.